originally going to have you in groups. I'll make this a little personal. My dad gave me some lessons when I turned 18, and one of them, very first one was don't be like the dinosaur, be willing to adapt to change. So originally I was going to have you guys in groups, and then I was going to flip you half the group and make you mix with the other side of the group. But read a comment in an industry article, actually, Corbin Ball. You guys know Corbin Ball. Corbin Ball in the meetings industry is considered the tech guru, and he was talking about change, and he quoted Darwin, who said, "It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, nor the most or best networked person, but it's the one most responsive to change," right? So, what I really wanted to talk about today is because, change is hitting us all at such a rapid pace, right? I mean, mobile devices and technology are changing the way people are searching, shopping, buying, and sharing their travel experiences, right? Their experiences. So one of the things we've done this year at the Bureau is we've shifted to, whereas I was focused mostly on the ground tackling of customers and relationships, which are still critical, I've got to have a presence in my travel trade and meeting pages socially. So we've created social teams. I mean, I'm just giving you an example of one thing that we've had to, the shift and the change that we've had to make. And this change, this speed of change is just causing us all to rethink things. It's also creating pain points, right, in our organizations. How do we get past the change that we have to make? Sometimes it's having the right personnel that can do the new stuff, right? But I thought what I'd like to do is use the board a little bit. I was going to try and break, and we can still do this, but we could probably just do it as a group now. What issues, from a change standpoint, are stopping you from selling more travel segments, more leisure room nights? So if you're with me here, it's just, I know I had to make some shifts in my department. I had to start incorporating social media. I have to figure out a way to help a meeting planner that doesn't understand the technology side of the business, so that maybe when they come into our convention center, we have some of that stuff turnkey for them. So those are, I'm floating some examples I'm giving you. But in your own businesses, in your own organizations, what are some of the pain points of this rapid change that we've all been going through? And I'm trying, what I eventually want to get to here is maybe come up with some brainstorming on solutions from the collective experience of all 5, 6, 7 of us here in the room. I wrote down, is it product knowledge? Is it price point availability, technology issues, lack of understanding of the markets, is there any lack of ability, for you to keep up with maybe some of what your competitors are doing for any one reason or another, or any ideas? And I'm looking for pain points. So when I say pain points, just big challenges, and I know you have customers in the room, so it's not easy for you to do that. But
well, I mean, and again, my business is different than everyone else's, but I'm happy to get the ball rolling, because for me it's, top 2 things. One is the time to keep up with all the new media. And I've got 2 organizations, so I'm doing Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and other things for 2 organizations. I have a new person on board, but I still have to oversee it. They don't know my business that well as I do.
Right.
And the second one is client budgets. I mean, people, my clients are all folks in the travel industry. They're still pinched, and so they want the research, but they have this much money instead of this much money, and so we have to find a way to make it happen at a lower price point, and it's just more difficult.
A supplier said to me recently, you can't have enough money for something that's working. Right? We always talk about, because he's a big believer in test trial, shake, stir. If it works, great. If not, then stop doing it and do more of what works. So I'm sharing that with you because maybe that's a good line to a customer. Look, you can never have enough money for what's working, right? It's an investment. Yeah, maybe these are two of the big ones. We'll touch on those, but let's go around the room a little bit too, to see if we can get a good list here going. Pain points of getting to where you want to be with this rapid speed of change that we've been going through, and these are two good pain points. We can focus on just these two if you want, but is there any other?
I know you brought that product knowledge. I think for hoteliers and suppliers, I think identifying with the client and providing the information that will ripple out to their clients. It's making sure that when I leave here that they know what hotel I represent and what the product is that I have.
Yeah.
And now the up-to-date challenge is the rebranding. We're going from what it was before to a really high-end Trump property.
Yeah.
So those are the two.
That would be my next one in this list, and we'll expand on it because product knowledge. This is about teaching and engaging, right? At the end of the day,
Right.
How do we teach and engage? Sorry about my handwriting.
I have that in mind, knowledge.
Yeah.
That's the one I had in mind.
Yeah.
And the other one I was going to tell you is transportation, how to get there. I mean, I can offer something.
Can you say access?
Access.
Access?
Access, yes. How to get there.
Mhm.
If it is by plane, if it is by car, have to arrange all the transportations together.
Sure.
For 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 1,000.
Right. It's a great, it's a good one. We talk about access all the time in Palm Beach because we obviously are 1 hour from the largest where people are flying in, specifically with international markets in Brazil. You got a 9-hour flight, drop in, now we want you to take another hour up. And how do we demonstrate that that's an easy hour, it's not, and then once you get there, that it provides you even greater ease of access. But folks, we'll get back to that one. Any others before maybe we try and start attacking some of these?
I think put it in different words, what mix of current and new technology do you use? This is an industry that still depends largely on interpersonal relationships versus the new media. It's not really versus. The right formula, the right mix of technology and person to person. I don't know what it is.
I know.
I report on it. I know, for instance, one of the things that my boss does, he has a half dozen conferences. One is on e-tourism.
Yeah.
And as much as that could be done online, people want to see one another face to face to discuss what it is they're doing in new technology.
Sure. Well, I saw a really interesting graph the other day. I'll flip the page in just a second. Basically, it was like this. It was a Google graph. And let me see if I can. I'll just do a couple. So it said that we shifted from, so here's the purchase point of a client. They bought the travel package to their initial decision of when they wanted to travel. So it's called initial. What used to happen is, and maybe even not too long ago, it was like this. They would make the decision to travel, ask some friends, talk around, maybe contact a travel agent or whatever. But by the time they would start speaking to a purchase point, a sales representative, if you will, here. Well, now the executive board says that 60% of the client's decision is made by the time they're talking to a client, to a sales representative. So what you're just kind of what you're saying. And listen, as a sales guy, I don't know how to take this, right? But it's real. The executive board is one of the. Do you know the executive board? They're one of the top research deliverers. The members of the executive board are CEO level. But when they come out with statistics, it's pretty good information that this is kind of what's, so if 60% of the travel decision is already made by the time they've gotten to me, well, number one, I better figure out this space real quick, right? And that's what's brought me to start diving into social media and that stuff for the meetings and travel trade side. I don't handle our consumer side. You know, I used to sit back just a year ago and go, well, that's Shirley stuff. You know, social media, that's the consumer. I don't need to. And then I sat in a session one day and somebody told me there's 35,000 users of Facebook with the title Meeting Planner, and there's 45,000 LinkedIn users with the title Meeting or Travel Planner. And then I quickly realized, all right, hang on, I better get in this space.